21 Ks. They said it was humid, but for me it wasn't. It was nice. So I enjoyed that run, and it was flat. And 21 Ks at the time, that was the longest I've ever run.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one of my favorite runs, which was the Gold Coast Marathon. The other one I did was the Sydney City to Surf. It was a 14K run over the hills in Sydney. So you have to run from the city all the way down to Bondi Beach.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like a little mini marathon, like New York Marathon, because when you were running through the city, they had like people dancing, and there was like people DJing on the side, and there was like live, drums and stuff, people singing. So it was like a little party, like a little marathon party, like just like New York.
Yeah.
One of my favorite runs would have been like real favorite runs, like I really enjoyed, was the one in Alice Springs, because when we were running in Alice Springs, there was, we were running 30 kilometers out in the desert, doing a loop, and the person who I was running with, Jordan, he's my roommate through the year. That was his country, Western Arundel man there, Jordan, my brother.
Yep.
And he was, while we were running, he was telling me all the stories, of the different places on that same track we were running.
Yeah.
And I think for me that was really special, because I was connected to the land through him, because that's where he's from, coming from Alice Springs. And then he shared me like some of the dreamings of certain places within that area. And it was more, for me, it was like a spiritual run. And the reason why I also love running is because like you're out there in nature, and you're connecting with the land, and you can see like, even I love running out here because you see all the mountains, and it's beautiful. It's
a lot of wildlife on you.
A lot of wildlife, a lot of dingoes. I've seen snakes. I was running out in the cane paddocks, and I seen when I was training, and I seen a few taipans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was hot too during the day, so they were out. And this last one here, this big one, would have been just been the Big Apple, so the New York Marathon. All that hard work throughout that same throughout that year, it all led to this.
Yep.
42 kilometers. When you're running 42 Ks, it's like it's different, because you go out there, you run, then all of a sudden you feel pain. Then you sort of think about your family, then think about all these boys. It push you through. You think about all the hard work you've done doing those runs to get to here.
Drives you through it, right?
Yeah. So that was a very awesome experience for me, and like doing, for us, our people, we come from hunter gatherers, like our ancestors were hunter gatherers, so running naturally is like it's part of our, you'd say it's part of our culture too.
Yep.
So like like here we at the college, starting the Deadly Runners. I think it's another good way to for the boys, for them to help themselves get healthy, healthy, and it's also good as a for your mental well-being too. Running, because it's like meditation.
Yep. Because
while you run, you breathing in and you're breathing out, and it's cheap. You don't have to go to the gym. It's probably one of the best things I've ever done. One of the best habits I ever picked up, and I enjoy it. But maybe one day, hopefully, I reckon, because you're a good leader yourself, you'll be able to try out for the IMP and take on the marathon. Because and you'll be a good leader within your community, and inspiration. You're an inspiration now, like for the things you do. But I reckon taking these kind of stuff, I reckon you'll be worth it for you.
Did you get a lot of support in your marathons from your community or other sorts of connections you had with other people? Did you get a lot of support?
So when you get selected for the IMP, Indigenous Marathon Project, Rob D. Costello, he's a former Australian Olympian. He ran the New York Marathon. He ran the Boston Marathon in 2 hours and 7 minutes. So him being my mentor, it's like having one of the best in the world. So I had his support. My coach, Adrian Dodson Shaw, He's a boy from Alice Springs in Broome. He was also a good mentor for me because he did the marathon project in 2014, I'm pretty sure. But him being a coach, being a black fella, it helped me, because you in your life, no matter how old you get, you'll have mentors, and having them people supporting you, it's very good. It makes you feel confident. And also within IMP, they had many other graduates that done it. So me, I was the 94th one to graduate. So I got this little tattoo when I went over to New York. So as you can see, IMP 94. So when I was the 94th person to graduate, but there's other people who did it before you, and they're the ones, you're like part of this big family, where when you need advice with running on other things, they'll help you out. So, even that, support everywhere. Even his boys, I had boys coming out doing some runs with me. Just not the long runs like the 10Ks or 20K runs up and down, probably just the little 5K runs. So I've done that. So even the boys, having the boys taking part, it was like good support, because sometimes running is like one of the most loneliest sport that you can take, other than besides boxing, because when you run a marathon and you're halfway through, the only one who's going to help you finish is yourself, because you got to do it for yourself. So we had a lot of support, and like as as blackfellas, I was thinking about this one story from New York. When I was walking around, my coach told me to wear my medal around my neck during the week. We'll get discounts in different places, like Applebee's and all these restaurants and stuff. So we get discount steaks and coffees and other stuff, drinks. And me coming from a small community, when you do that, you people think that you're showing off in a way. But my coach was like, oh no, try it, do it. You'll notice everyone in New York, they love the marathon. And so I was like, yeah, now I'll have to go. I wore my medal, and all of a sudden there was all of us, like the squad, we all wore our medals. People were coming up to us, giving us high fives. And I see this group of brothers from over there. When they seen me walking with my medal, with my coach, they came up to me and they're like, "Oh, you ran the marathon?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like they were like, praising me. Well done. Good job. Can I get a photo and stuff like that? I was like looking at them weird. And my coach Adrian said to me, people over here, they totally different from how we are back home. And that tall poppy syndrome, when someone do good, people always try to bring the same person down. And like when I seen that, I said to myself, man, some of them things like that, it sort of stopped us from giving our full potential. For you, for example, I want to tell you, like, whatever you want to do, just go for it. Don't let anyone stop you or say, oh no, you're better than us. Things like that, when that saying, they have for, if one makes it, we all make it. They really own that saying. You can see it when I went over there. It's part of their culture. And I always say to his boys, when you see one of your brothers do something good, praise him and raise him, is very important. Because, in our culture, in our history, recent history, because we have, 65,000 history, but in the last 100 years or so, we were told not to speak our language, in most places, not to practice our culture. So we were already brought down. So I think, it's very important that even now today, we raise each other up. That's why, praise each other up. So when his boys here at the college, you do something good, it's very important to celebrate. So that's when I realized that, it's very important, like that kind of thing. So, you come from, small community, people, I come from small community, people sort of, they always bring that, bring people down. So now, even for you, for example, I think, whatever you want to do in life, I reckon you should have a go and have a crack at it. I want to ask you one question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That was a breathtaking question, but I'll answer it. Well, when I finished school, I was thinking maybe going to university and making something out of myself and starting to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or an advocate to stand up for my people and for our rights and everything.
Yeah.
And also I want to be like a leader, because coming from a small community, there's no voices, you know, because small communities don't get recognized for, you know, like townships in Australia. We're just small Aboriginal communities.
We're in the shadows, yeah.
Yeah, we're just, like our history is dark, where Aboriginal communities, they're dark as well, you know, because there's a lot of things that happen back in our communities because them white fellas, they use their communities as missions, such as, what's the island called?
Hammond Island, yeah.
Hammond Island. They use that as a mission.
It was a mission before, yeah.
So they moved people from all different places come to Yarrabah, you know, and that's how we get that broken sort of stolen generation, you know, and that scar we always carry.
Yeah.
You know, it's a memory of something, and the scar that we all carry is our ancestors' history, you know, and what happened to them 100 years ago and what they did to our people, you know. It's we need to get it out to the world and tell them, you know, that we've survived for over 65,000 years and we're still here, and we're going to be here for the rest of another 65,000 years.
For sure, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So being a lawyer in the next 10 years will make a big change for myself and my community and my people, you know, my Aboriginal people and Torres Strait Islander people I represent, you know. Yeah, so, and being like you, like when I'm traveling the world and things like that, just.
Well, I can say this, you know, if someone from me, like, you know, coming from a small community that can travel the world, you know, take on a marathon, someone like you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's very important that you always protect that and you keep that with you and never let anyone hold you back. And I reckon your purpose is strong.
Yeah.
So just go for it, yeah.
Yep.
Just run your race. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thanks, fella.
Good having you. We rock the party, we rock the sound. We turning out, we ain't never turning down. We rock the party, we rock the sound. Two young dream chasing straight out of